Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's news leader.
President Trump made a very conclusive statement about the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia during his Thanksgiving remarks to the press. And Laura Podesta will tell you what he said about the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi coming up.
NASA's newest mission to Mars is about to begin if their spacecraft survives the landing. I'm Chris Martinez with how engineers are preparing for a delicate arrival.
Just ahead of 6:30 on this Black Friday, Chet Lehman with you. Missy O'Malley is off today. Matt Elwell has our forecast in a moment. Meantime, President Trump made a very conclusive statement on Thanksgiving, telling reporters he does not believe the Saudi Crown Prince was involved of the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. As CBS News' Laura Podesta explains, this comes despite previous reports from the CIA that the royal is responsible for the killing.
Speaking before the press on Thanksgiving Day, President Trump appeared to exonerate the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia for any possible involvement in the death of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
He denies it vehemently. His father denies it, the king, vehemently. The CIA doesn't say they did it. They do point out certain things, and in pointing out those things, you can conclude that maybe he did or maybe he didn't. But that was another part of the false reporting.
Those words seemingly contradict what the president wrote earlier this week, that it was possible the Crown Prince had knowledge of the killing, but by taking no further action against Saudi Arabia, Mr. Trump was putting America first in a dangerous world. In an interview with CBS News' Holly Williams, the Saudi foreign minister, Adel Al-Jaber, denied Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's involvement, saying the Islamic Kingdom sent a team of officials to Turkey to bring Khashoggi back to Saudi Arabia. But a team leader decided instead to kill him with a lethal injection.
I mean, that's a pretty extraordinary breach of authority, murdering somebody inside a Saudi consulate.
Absolutely, yes. But unfortunately, mistakes like this happen with other governments.
We have a very strong ally in Saudi Arabia.
President Trump reiterated during his Thanksgiving remarks that the Islamic nation is investing hundreds of millions of dollars in our country. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Now, critics in Congress and high-ranking officials in other countries are accusing President Trump of ignoring human rights and giving Saudi Arabia a pass for economic reasons, including its influence on the world oil market. 6:31 now, meteorologist Matt Elwell joins us. We've had just a little bit of everything except sunshine because it's too early for the sun to rise yet, but we've had just a little bit of everything here this morning.
Yeah, a little bit of snow. We had beautiful moonlight last night. It was gorgeous. This morning, a little chill, but it's not particularly cold for most areas, into the 30s and 20s. Again, we've had some light snow at times this morning. It's slowly migrating its way back to the east. That's just kind of a small taste of what we have in store over the course of the next 36 hours or so. In fact, we'll probably see some scattered snow showers developing later tonight that may impact travel for tomorrow. We'll talk about that, of course, coming up in just a few minutes.
6:32 now. Many people on Thanksgiving love turkey pie, mashed potatoes, but Bozeman has one traditional side dish that's particularly special. MTN's Medeiros Bab runs down near Bobcat Stadium where racers were huffing for stuffing, all for a good cause.
3, 2, 1.
Racers flood through the arch as the turkey's gobble blares through the speakers. Thanksgiving Day is typically a time for rest and lots of food, but in Bozeman, first 5K and 10K runners take to the streets. After all, they are huffing for extra stuffing.
Can you believe it? We're at 4,097 entries today.
One of the entries, the Bozeman cross country team adds another challenge each year, dressing up. In years past, they have been trees, a train, and this year they chose to be Vikings.
Well, this actually got our fastest time.
Yeah, we actually beat our time from last year by like 2 minutes in the boat.
It's definitely the horns.
Yeah, it was the horns.
Don't let the record time fool you. It wasn't easy for them.
As we learned very quickly, this boat's not meant to really last that long. So you come up with a lot of obstacles that you can work your way through.
Good job, guys. Fantastic as always.
And we had to finish as a team because, you know, it's great when you do.
Over the course of 11 years, Huffing for Stuffing has raised close to $500,000, all that will go towards running the food bank.
First of all, just the community support is wonderful, but the amount of money helps our food bank immensely. It's around a sixth of our budget.
Teamwork, overcoming obstacles, and stuffing the local food pantry. What isn't there to love? In Bozeman, Medeiros Babb, MTN News.
By the way, close to $14,000 raised this year on top of the fees for the sign-up. We're told that Viking boat took nearly a half an hour to build. They spent a lot of time on it. Congratulations to all who participated. Shifting gears a bit, a record drought in Afghanistan is forcing some parents to do the unthinkable, sell their children to feed their family. CNN's Nick Payton-Walsh has this exclusive report.
It's not record violence or Taliban control of territory they're fleeing, not ISIS or unparalleled airstrikes by the coalition that has finally forced them from their homes. They're instead running from drought. A record dry spell, forcing more families in Afghanistan from their homes this year than the war has. And as if Afghanistan hadn't already broken all superlatives for its misery, this is what it's driving them to. Meet Mamarine and her 6-year-old daughter, Akila. You'd think a tiny family united under plastic sheeting. But desperation means it hasn't turned out that way. Mamarine has sold Akila for $3,000 to this man, Najmuddin, who will give her to his 10-year-old son, Sheraga. Listen to how they got here. Mamarine first. I fled my village, she says, with my 3 children because of severe drought. I came here thinking I will receive some assistance, but I got nothing. To avoid starvation among my children, I gave my daughter to a man for about $3,000, but have only got $70 so far. I had no money, no food, and no breadwinner. My husband was also killed. She doesn't know that I've sold her. How could she know? She's a child, but I had no other choice. What if Akila tries to run, we ask. Whether in tears or laughter, she says, Akila will have to go. Who would sell a piece of her heart unless they really have to? Akila's buyer, Najmuddin, thinks buying a 6-year-old girl is an act of charity. Her family don't have anything to eat, he says. They were hungry. I know I'm also poor, but I'm sure I can pay it off slowly in 2 or 3 years. The cameraman asks, but aren't they children? Doesn't matter, he says. These things happen here. Even an old man marries a young girl. It happens. Najmuddin also fled the drought. The UN says it has put 275,000 people on the move this year, about half from around the area of Baghdad. The wheat crop has failed us, he says. We couldn't grow melons. All the other crops failed because of the drought. We lost our livestock. The sheep, cows and goats all died of hunger as there wasn't any fodder for them. Around the camp, we hear this kind of horrific story repeated. Here, this man sold his 4-year-old daughter to a 20-year-old man to settle a debt. It is a world of survival and unimaginable choices, where families must betray each other just to live. And winter is ahead, promising to be colder, as arid and hungrier too.
6:37 now. We're going to shift gears just a bit, keeping with the theme for Thanksgiving holiday. This week's Outdoor Report features a little turkey hunting.
The hen mating call. There's a bunch of different kinds of calls, but basically just that yelp, that you can get real tricky, but they seem to work most of the time. Sometimes they'll come in quiet. Try to find a tree to lean on, I'll back up behind you. I guess it just depends on the situation. Once you get turkey to respond, it's pretty easy to get addicted to it. These poor guys think they're coming in to get a girlfriend.
I shot a turkey. I never shot a turkey before.
You better get your tag on it. Tuck slept through the whole thing until the gun went off. That was kind of good, though. I didn't want him to go, turkey!
Turkey!
6:39 now. We're going to take a quick break. When Montana This Morning returns, we're going to head to Lebanon to meet one of the most reclusive men on earth. Says he's saying he's off the grid is putting it mildly. You're going to love that one. But first, we're going to head to New York for a sneak peek of what's coming up at 7.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, more than 164 million people are expected to shop this holiday weekend and Cyber Monday. We'll show you how big retailers are using new technology to lure customers into stores to keep up with online shopping. And Entertainment Tonight's Nancy O'Dell goes backstage with country music legend Garth Brooks during his concert at the historic Notre Dame Stadium. We'll see you at 7.